Hello everyone, and welcome back to our unsettled journey. So today's video, we're going to be talking about the top 10 road trips that you can take from Atlanta, Georgia. And we're basically going to be using what we have experienced and all these road trips that we have taken throughout this year and last year, along with some spots that we really want to go to and haven't been to yet. So now all of these trips are meant to be weekend trips, and all of these trips are a 5-hour, give or take, distance from Atlanta, Georgia.
The reason we're focusing on road trips from Atlanta is because that is where we currently live. We are fairly new residents. We moved here in July of 2019, but we've gotten to do a lot of fun weekend getaways since we've moved, and we want to share those with you in case you either live here close to Atlanta or other destinations close to Atlanta that you can get to within 5 hours.
So moving on to number 1.
We're talking about the Great Smoky Mountains National Park in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. So this national park is the easiest to get to for most East Coast residents, and turns out is actually the most popular national park. So Gatlinburg sits right in the heart of the national park, while Pigeon Forge sits just north of it, but both provide a extremely family-friendly and fun mountain getaway, all while enjoying a beautiful national park with obviously tons of hiking trails, waterfalls, and even a few caves to discover. We were able to visit the Great Smoky Mountains earlier this summer at the beginning of August, and we filmed a whole video while we were there, so if you want to check that out, which you can find the video in the description box below. Gatlinburg and the Great Smoky Mountains is a really easy road trip from Atlanta and only takes about 3 hours and 45 minutes to get to from Atlanta.
So the next one up on our list is Rock City, Georgia. So now Rock City is also in combination with Lookout Mountain and Ruby Falls. So within that area, you can easily spend an entire weekend exploring both of them. And Rock City has a lot of cool, unique features, and Lookout Mountain, of course, which has a great view. And you compare that also with Ruby Falls, which is also a cave and a big destination to go to here in the south, with a very unique waterfall at the very end of the cave. And it's just something really, really cool to see, so you can also pair it with a cabin and stay overnight and see each destination one of the days. And it's only about 2 hours to 2.5 hours from Atlanta, Georgia. Of course, we filmed a video about it, and you can click that link in the description below to go watch it, or you can click right up there as well.
Next up on our list, we're going to talk about Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte, North Carolina is a very easy city to get to from Atlanta because it's basically one major highway that takes you all the way there. It's Interstate 85. You take that for about 3.5 hours and you find yourself in Charlotte, North Carolina. Now, they have a smaller downtown and city than Atlanta does, but Charlotte definitely has a lot to offer. They have the Whitewater Center, which is a big attraction there where you can do all sporty type activities, whitewater rafting. Charlotte and Atlanta are often being compared, but Charlotte is on a much smaller scale, so the downtown area you could get around a lot easier. Charlotte is also home to Carowinds, which is a pretty large amusement park, so for roller coaster lovers who are tired of the Six Flags in Atlanta, you can head over a few hours down the highway, stay in Charlotte, and visit Carowinds. And we're coming up on fall, so I know during the Halloween season they turn Carowinds into Scarowinds, which is their haunted house Halloween-themed amusement park. Charlotte is also known as the Queen City, so you can head into Charlotte to learn a little bit more about its history and why it's known as the Queen City.
So another destination here on our weekend road trip list is Knoxville, Tennessee. Now Knoxville is also a really, really small city, but nonetheless it's a city if you want to get outside of the bigger city of Atlanta. And it's about a 3 to 3.5 hours drive from Atlanta, Georgia. Now Knoxville, we have not been, but we've always wanted to go. And we have heard great things about it, such as the nature. There's a lot of hiking to do around the city there, along with the many attractions. Now there is the Market Square, which is a lot of different types of foods and shops, along with the aquarium, which is also something we've also heard about there to do. I don't know how it compares to the Atlanta aquarium, but once we go there, we will let you know. Now, Knoxville has a lot of great museums, as well as the famous World's Fair Park. which was obviously the venue of the World Fair from 1982. So nonetheless, it's definitely a nice little getaway from, like I said, the bigger city of Atlanta to a much smaller city.
Next, we're going to talk about Savannah, Georgia. Savannah, Georgia has a long-standing history as being one of the most haunted cities in the U.S., if not the most haunted city. So if you enjoy all things supernatural, it might be a really neat place to check out. The city does offer multiple different ghost tours, and there's even some pretty unique ones like riding in the back of a hearse or going on a haunted pub crawl. We also visited Savannah, Georgia this summer, and we filmed a video there. So again, the link for that will be in the description if you want more in-depth on what we did and what we saw. But it is about 4 hours away from Atlanta and has a really nice riverfront area that's like the main hub of town, full of restaurants, shops, and local bars, and a ton of cute bed and breakfasts to stay at. And just west of the town of Savannah is actually the Wormsloe State Site, which has this really incredible avenue of oaks with all the Spanish moss on it, so it really looks like something out of your computer's wallpaper. It's really impressive and makes for amazing Instagram photos.
So next up on our list here is the music city of Nashville, Tennessee. So now Nashville is only 4 to 4.5 hours from Atlanta, Georgia. And Nashville is very rich, like I said, within the music industry and good old country music. And we were lucky enough to go there during the Great American Eclipse. We spent a weekend there for that. And there's just so much to do, so many good places to eat, so many good places to listen to music. And down on Broadway Street, they have a lot of attractions to go see, which is in the downtown city of Nashville. So now along with that, they also have the world famous Grand Ole Opry to go see a great performance at, as well as a place that we stayed that was sort of unique. Speaking of good eats, which was the Aquarium restaurant, which is a underwater themed restaurant where you can go see various fish because they have a huge tank around the restaurant, and it's just a very unique attraction to do. So we definitely would like to go there again and are planning on it soon. And we just want to give you another place that was on our radar that is definitely within driving distance of Atlanta.
So a town that's about 5 hours away from Atlanta, Georgia is Charleston, South Carolina. Charleston, South Carolina, and Savannah, Georgia are always being compared from the history aspect of it, but Charleston has a charm all its own and really can be another awesome getaway. Even if you feel like you've seen Savannah and want something different, I would highly recommend Charleston, South Carolina. It's got a great history. It's got a ton of really opulent homes along the harbor. There are forts to check out, so if you're into more of that style of history, then you can visit 2 different forts in the port of Charleston. They have a naval ship that you can go aboard and tour that. King Street is the main street in the historic town of Charleston, where you can walk essentially for miles and just enjoy all the cute little shops and alleyways. Again, your best bet is probably to stay at a bed and breakfast because they're so quaint and right in the heart of town to keep you close to everything. But the charm of Charleston is, of course, visiting their large city market in the heart of town, taking a horse-drawn trolley tour around the town to get a little bit of an insider's perspective on the history there, and maybe even taking a sunset cruise on the harbor to get to see Charleston from the water.
So now moving on down south of Georgia is Florida, and the next one on our list, the next road trip, which is about 5 hours away from Atlanta, is in Jacksonville, Florida. Now Jacksonville is also a place that we haven't been yet, but we really want to go to. So just to give you a brief overview about what there is to do in Jacksonville, there's a lot of great museums there. There's a lot of great zoos. The Jacksonville Zoo is a pretty famous zoo in the area. Along with that, of course, you got the beaches, the Jacksonville Beach there. There's so many different beaches along that city. Along with that, there's the Riverside and Avondale district of Jacksonville, which is a very hip and upcoming area with a lot of great restaurants, places that have music, and it's actually known as one of the country's top 10 best neighborhoods in the country. And along with that, if you really like history, we highly suggest going to, and we really want to go visit, the Kingsley Plantation, which is a historic plantation just outside of the city of Jacksonville. So definitely Jacksonville is a place that we really want to go visit and hope to in the future. But we just thought we'd add it onto this list since it's such a great destination with lots of great attractions that you can definitely fill your weekend with.
We're going to move a little west from Jacksonville now and talk about the Florida Panhandle, specifically Pensacola and Destin, Florida. These two cities sit just about 5 hours south of Atlanta as well, but they both provide a really excellent beach atmosphere. Both of these are on what is called Florida's Emerald Coast, which means that the water has an emerald green tone to it, which makes it really, really beautiful. They are also known for their sugary, soft, white, powdery sand, and both Pensacola and Destin have a ton to keep you busy for an entire weekend. They are definitely drivable, so you could visit both during the same weekend. One of the most notable attractions down in that area is Crab Island, where you can do boat rentals out to a very shallow part of the water where there are a bunch of little hermit crabs, so you can snorkel with them, swim with them, and you'll notice a ton of boats just anchored off, having a great day, spending their time in the water. And both Pensacola and Destin have cute little towns with great local seafood and a ton of shops to get your souvenirs and holiday shopping done and out of the way.
So now moving on from Florida to the western side of Georgia is Birmingham, Alabama. Now Birmingham is a very historic city, rich with culture, and there's so much to go see there, and we have not been there yet, but we really, really want to go. And mainly because it's only like 2 to 2.5 hours away from Atlanta. So pretty much there is a lot to do there. There is the historic Civil Rights Museum and Art Center, along with the Birmingham Botanical Gardens. And there's so many old historic buildings and churches to go see, as well as when it gets darker during the evening, there is some pretty haunted places to see along the way. So like I said, we have not been there yet, but we really want to go because of the rich history behind it that we really think is important to learn about. And we like just to hear about the stories that have been told while incorporating a weekend getaway and visiting a lot of the attractions around Birmingham as well.
The last city that we're going to be talking about is Asheville, North Carolina. This city from Atlanta is about 3.5 hours drive away, but there's absolutely plenty to do throughout your weekend, starting with probably the most famous thing that Asheville is known for, which is the Biltmore Estate. Obviously, the beautiful Biltmore Estate and Gardens you can take a full tour of and spend most of your day doing that, eating on site, visiting the winery and gift shop that's also there at the Biltmore, and also enjoying the beautiful views that that area provides. There are a couple different inns and places to stay around Biltmore, so if that is the focus of your stay, I know around Christmas time it's supposed to be a really amazing experience. I've been to the Biltmore, but not during Christmas time, so I think over the holidays it's just stepped up and they do a lot more to make you feel special and make you feel that holiday cheer. But aside from the Biltmore, Asheville, the town, is actually a really cute and quaint downtown area, kind of like those old towns where you see Main Street that obviously has a bunch going on, but Asheville sits in the western part of the Blue Ridge Mountains, so not only are you going to have a cute downtown, a really awesome estate to explore, but you're going to have a lot of different adventurous and outdoor things right in the heart of the Blue Ridge Mountains, so you can take advantage of different hiking opportunities and different road trips that could get you some really amazing pictures and scenery to just drive around and enjoy. Especially during the fall season when the leaves are changing, you can have a really awesome weekend over in Asheville, North Carolina. So if you've made it this far, we want to thank you for watching. If you aren't already, please be sure to click the subscribe button and also the bell notification so that you can be notified about when we post future videos. We typically like to post every weekend, and while you're at it, leaving us a comment and letting us know if you visited one of these cities and what you did there is a really great way for us to interact with you. You can also follow us on our other social media. We're on Instagram at Our Unsettled Journey, where you can find and discover other content that we don't post here on YouTube.
So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all at our next adventure.
Bye.